Hi guys, let's have a review of yet another interesting video editor called the Vegas Movie Studio 16. Namely, we're going to have a look into its Platinum version. In case you prefer to read the text version of this video, kindly visit the article in the description down below. The text version contains a bit more details about the Vegas Movie Studio. So why are we going to review the Platinum edition of this software specifically? Well, that's because this variation contains most of the features from all the three editions. With that said, the price for the Movie Studio Platinum remains very affordable. I'd say you are really getting a bargain here, given all the advanced editing features for less than $100. You will also get a nice discount if you're visiting the Magic Software website using my link from the description down below. So let's begin with a short debrief of what the Vegas Movie Studio is and who this program is designed for. Now, you've probably heard about the famous Vegas Pro video editor already. How does Movie Studio even relate to that professional tool? Well, in a nutshell, this app is a beginner-friendly, somewhat limited version of Vegas Pro. With that said, it's still a very powerful video creation program. If you're not familiar with the Pro version yet and haven't been doing a video editing professionally, you most likely won't even notice any difference. The only group of video editing enthusiasts this software wouldn't probably work for are those who are called the professional video editors. If this is you, you may want to check the Vegas Pro or even some of the competitors like Adobe Premiere or a Final Cut Pro if you're on Mac. But if you're just starting your video maker career, Vegas Movie Studio Platinum is one of the best choices. Basically, Vegas Movie Studio Platinum is a consumer version of a Vegas Pro. That means you'll get easier to use tool for much cheaper price. The Pro version would cost you up to $700 depending on the plan you choose. Movie Studio Platinum, in contrast, would cost you less than $100 for a single license. In addition to that, you are lucky to get the 16th version. Previous versions were much more less flexible and harder to use in general. The 16th version is a great improvement in terms of usability. Magix is the current owner of the wide range of multimedia applications, has made a lot of progress after acquiring this video editor from Sony a couple of years ago. They put a lot of work to make a simple, easy to use, but very functional video editing tool. Now, after having this short debrief, let's have a look on how the Vegas Movie Studio Platinum 16 looks and feels in real-life usage. I have a Windows PC here with the Movie Studio installed already. First of all, let's get ourselves familiar with the user interface and the basic controls. After that, I'm going to try and make something cool in this editor. So, when we first open the Movie Studio, you are going to see this welcome window that allows you to either create a new project or open the existing project. Also, it has the recent projects listed here in the left side. So you can choose to either create the widescreen video for YouTube, etc., or you can create a tall video for phones and tablets. You can also choose to either use the guided video editor or the advanced creation. It's gonna be the power user mode. We are in power user mode already now, so I won't be choosing the power mode anymore. I will just close this window here, and now we already have the power mode activated. So which control elements and user interface widgets we have in the Movie Studio Platinum 16? Let's begin with the preview window. The preview window is in the right side here, and it looks really small at the moment, but you can resize it. You can make it bigger by moving these widgets here. You can make it bigger or smaller. You can also set the quality here. At the moment, the preview quality is 960 by 540 by 32 bit. You can change that if you go here on the on the top side, you can press this drop down here, choose the preview, and you can make it to either be full, half, or the quarter. You can also choose the best quality, and it's gonna be the like full, half, or auto mode. If you choose the full, the preview mode will be full HD, but depending on your computer, it might become very slow to work with the video if you choose the full HD mode. So we are going to choose the half mode here, and it's going to be the 960 by 540 of resolution. On the right side here we have the volume meter and the volume control. You can reduce or increase the output volume and choose the volume level that you prefer. When we create the video with the audio inside, we will see the audio meter jumping in here. On the left side you have different widgets, and they are grouped as tabs. You can see the transition screen here, the video effects, the media generators, and the project media. It's like the browser that shows you the current media files that you import into your project. There's also the Explorer window here, Explorer tab. It allows you to browse the entire computer like a usual Explorer. You can see the local disks here, all the folders and files. You can also choose which windows you want to display. If you click the view from the toolbar menu, you can choose which windows you want to see here. And let me remember. Yeah, you go to the window submenu here, and you can check in or check out different widgets depending on which ones you want to see in your dashboard here. Currently we can disable the video effects, and you can see it disappeared. We can also disable the Explorer because we don't need it, but I think we will need the video effects, so we will enable them back. Okay, so these tabs are now all we need to work with the video, and I just wanted to show you that you can also move these tabs. If you press shift, yes, if you press shift, you can move these windows here, and if you want to dock them back into where they were, you need to press the control, and holding the control you can move them to be docked into this window here. And now it has become the part of these tabs again. Okay, so that's it for the tabs. Now let's see what we have in the timeline. So here, the bottom part of this user interface, it's a timeline, and by default, when you open an empty project, you will have like, I think actually it's not default, because I've been working with Vegas Movie Studio Platinum already, and here you can see some of the track types that I have already created. So I think when you first open the new project, let's try and create new project. Okay, let's choose the Blu-ray Full HD and use some simple name like simple project. I think that sounds good. Okay, but we still have the saved tracks. So when you work with the Movie Studio Platinum, it's gonna remember which tracks you have created, and then each time you create a new project, it's going to create these tracks for you by default. but it's okay, we can just delete these tracks. We will delete the audio track, the music track here. Let's just delete all the tracks. We can easily create these tracks later on if we go to Insert in the main menu, and we choose either audio track or a video track. It's going to be easy to create them. Now let's try and create the video track. As you can see, the video track is here. So in the bottom part of the timeline, we have some icons here like loop playback, play from start, pause, stop buttons, go to start and go to end. All these default, pretty much industry standard icons. We also have the editing tool here, so we can choose it to be like normal editing tool where we just work with the timeline. We can also have the slide and split tools, which are very convenient when you want to have a specific editing mode enabled. And we have some additional like settings here, for example a snap, and you can turn it on or off, and the automatic crossfade. So when you move one video clip on top of another video clip, you will have the automatic crossfades created for you. I will demonstrate this feature later on when we start to actually create the project here, the video project. And I think it's actually a good time to start doing it now. And now let's go and import some media in our project. And in order to import the media, we will need to go into the project menu here and click the Add Media. I have a folder here with some media inside it. I have some JPEG images, MP4 videos, and also the background music here. I will just select all the media files and click Open to import them into my project. And here in the preview window, depending on the file that we select, we can either preview the JPEG image, or we can even play the video here. If we click the video file, this one or another one, we can have a preview of this video here. Also inside the project media folder, you can hover on any file, and when you move the mouse, you can actually have a minimal preview here. So here in the right side you have the big preview, and in the left side, if you move the mouse over the video file, you have a minimized preview. That's a really cool feature. So when we have the media files in place, we want them to be placed in the timeline. Let's start with this one. Let's just drag it over and place into the timeline. As you can see, okay, we click the yes if we want to match the project settings to this video. Actually the video is full HD, so that's okay, nothing is going to be changed. So as you can see, when we drag the video and that video has a sound, it's going to create the separate track for the video and for the sound. So we only had the video track here, but when we dragged this video file, it's also created the audio file for us automatically. We can also choose some effects if you want to modify the sound. You can also modify the sound here. If you click effects here, you should have some audio effects here as well. But we are not going to be working with audio files, so let's just close it now. And let's place other media files into the timeline here. Let's start with the images. We can also increase the number of frames or the duration of the time when we have the image file here. Let's move this image as well. Let's drag it. Let's resize it to have it bigger duration. Let's move the another video file here, and it's also going to be splitted into video and audio part. Let's also import this video here. This video doesn't have any audio, so it's not got splitted into separate parts. Also, let's move this image file here, and maybe the ocean file as well. I think this is going to be enough. We are not going to be dragging this file into the timeline because we have enough media already just for the demonstration. Now we can play a preview here, and you can see in the preview window we are playing this clip and then the image here, and then we can move if we stop, we can move the playhead and play another parts of the timeline, because we have different clips on the timeline placed here. Now we want to have some effects. First of all, I wanted to show you how to create the automatic crossfade. As you can see, we have the crossfade icon enabled here. That means if we move, let's say we move this video clip, the ocean video clip, if we move it to the left, you can see this cross icon appearing here, and it can be longer or less longer depending on how much you move it to the left. And you can also see the duration in seconds here of how long the crossfade effect will be. Now you can see it's going to be 4 seconds and 8 milliseconds long. And if we move the playhead here and try playing this, you can see a nice crossfade effect here, and it's got created automatically for us. Now if we disable the automatic crossfade creation and we try to move any clip here, we don't have the automatic crossfade anymore. So I think you got the idea how to create the auto crossfade. Now let's go and try creating some other transitions. If you go into transition window, we can have a preview of different transition types. You can see we have a lot of transitions here, and if we hover the mouse or we just select a specific transition, we can have the transition preview here. And I think we are going to select this page turn transition. Now we will drag it and place it between these two clips, between this JPEG image clip and the video clip. If we place it here, we will release the left mouse button. We will have the video event effects window open here. This video event effects window allows us to create a chain of effects. So as you can see, we have the 3D page turn effect as the first effect in the chain, but we can also add other effects. If we click this button, you can choose any effect from this window, and it's going to be added to the right of this effect. So after the 3D page turn effect is complete, another effect is going to be played. But now we are just good with this effect. We won't be changing any settings here, but you could try choosing the different presets. But we are good for now. We are going to close this window, and now we are going to change the duration of this effect. So I don't know if you can see it because it's really small. If you hover your mouse here, you can see the fade in offset. If you left click and drag it, we have a longer duration of let's say 7 seconds and 2 milliseconds. Now let's go and try playing this part of the project. Okay, you can see it's really slow because of my PC. My PC is not very powerful, but you can also see the effects letters here. This effects letters is going to be disappearing when you render the final project. It's just for the demonstration, and also this is because the application I'm using it's a trial version, guys, so that's why we have the effects text here, but it's going to be disappeared when you're using the premium version and you have rendered your video. But I think you got the idea. Let's play it one more. You can see the 3D page turn effect. So I think that's it for transitions. Now let's try and apply some video effects for, say, for this rain clip. Now if I just play the rain clip, you can see there's no effects here. So let's stop it and go into video effects tab. Inside the video effects tab, you can also have a preview of different effects. And we are going to have the, maybe let's choose the radial pixelate. I think it's gonna be the cool effect here. Let's left click on the effect and drag the effect onto the clip, onto the rain clip here. Now we have this video effects window open, but we are not going to be changing any settings. We're just going to close it. And now we have this effect on the rain. What we want to do is we want to play it. I'm not sure why it's not working. Maybe we need to change the settings. So let's go into event effects once again. Yeah, we need to set the strengths. So if we change the strengths here, let's set it to like 0.5, and let's close the video event effects widget. Now let's try and play this again, and you can see the video got pixelated. Maybe we can add some other effect here as well. If we click this event effects icon here, we have this video event effects chain open again, and we want to add another effect. If we click into plugin chain here, we can choose different effects, like maybe we can choose the lens flare effect. We can click add and we can click OK. Now let's resize this window and let's change some settings here, like 70-33 for the size. Let's increase the tint and let's increase the intensity. And as you can see, as we move the settings slider here, we can see the intensity is changing in the preview window. I think it's good for now. And if you play this part of the video project, we can see the pixelate effect and the lens flare effect. They got added together. Now let's try and put some other effects into ocean clip here. If we open the effects chain here by clicking on the effects button, we can choose I don't know, maybe let's choose the Gaussian Blur here. Let's edit, let's click OK, and we can increase or decrease the range. Okay, now it's like 0, but we can increase it. Let's add some other effect here just to make it more fun. I think this time it's going to be the glow effect. Let's add it into the chain by clicking the add button. Click OK, and now we can set up the glow effect. Let's increase the intensity and glow percent. We can also change the suppression, and there is a color selection. Actually, let's choose the something more white. Okay, so we have selected the glow, and let's try and play and see how it looks. So that's it about the effects, about the video effects. I think you got the idea. Now let's try and see how to insert the text overlay over our video. And in order to do this, let's place the playhead over into this position. So we'll be adding the text overlay over the rain clip. And we also need to create another track here, so we can place the text inside the separate track. So we will need to go into Insert menu here and select the video track. The video track is going to be inserted on top of our existing tracks. So it's easy for us now to go into the media generators. And we have the title and text here. Let's just double click it. And we have the text added into the video track. Let's increase the duration. We can also move the text here directly in the preview window, so we can place it wherever we want, but let's just place it about the center here. We have also the text settings window open here, which actually called the video media generators. Let's move this window by holding the left control. We can move it into this position, so we have it as a separate tab. Now it's easy for us to edit the text. We can choose the font we want for this text, and for now let's have it to be like Century. I think it's going to be fine. We can also scale the text to make it bigger, and we can change the color. Let's set I don't know, maybe green color. I think green color looks good, or maybe blue color. Yeah, blue color looks better for now. We can also change the transparency, the intensity of the text, and we can change the text itself. So now let's make the text be something like simple overlay text. I think now it's become too big, so it doesn't fit the preview window, but we can decrease the scale. And now we can see the text looks just great. Let's maybe move it over here so it doesn't intersect with the flare. And now if we try and play the video project in this place, we will see the text overlay appearing here. So this is how easy it is to add the new text overlay. Now I also wanted to show you how to create the zoom and pan effect on the static media clip. So we have the image here, and I wanted to add some zooming effect into this image, so we can probably zoom into the center of this image. And in order to do this, we will need to open the event effects icon here. Let's click on the event effects icon. We will not be adding any effects here, so we'll close this window, this plugin chooser window. And now we have a single effect in the chain selected, and it's called the pan and crop. So I just wanted to zoom a little bit into the center of this image, and I want to animate it. So in order to animate the zoom and pan, we will need to move this playhead here, and we will add the keyframe. So if we click the create keyframe button, we have a new keyframe added here. We can also add another keyframe, and we will have the animation between these two keyframes. And the animation we are going to have is the zoom into the center of this image. So now let's have this zoom happening here. And as you can see, it's going to be animated. It's a preview of how it's going to happen. So now as we have it all set up, let's try and play and see how it looks. Cool. As you can see, we have the zoom effect happening in this image. And we have also a nice transition. So this looks fine. The last part I wanted to show you guys is how to add the background music. And if you want to add the background music, you will need to insert another track here into the timeline, and you will need the audio track. Let's insert the audio track. The audio track is going to be inserted into the bottom. Yeah, it's got inserted after all the tracks here, after all the other tracks. So now we'll go into the beginning of this timeline, and we will move into project media folder. Inside the project media, we have this WAV file. Now when I selected it, you can hear it's being played. Now I'll just stop the playing by choosing something else here. And I just wanted to drag this audio track and place it into the, drag this media file and place it into the audio track. So as you can see, the audio track is pretty long, but we can make it even longer if we just resize it. So if we resize it, it's going to add additional music part from the beginning. I think we will cut this part here. If we perform this motion, I just wanted to cut this silence here. Let's try and cut this silence because we don't really need the silence. Let's delete it. And let's just create a copy of this part where we have the music. So if we click split on the playhead, we choose the place where we want to split it, and we click the split. We can remove this part. We can copy this part, and we can paste it into here. We'll just move this clip into here, and we will paste another part here. We will also cut the rest of it. So like split and delete it. So now we have the background music. If we zoom out by scrolling the mouse wheel, we see that we have the media files and the background music. Now let's try and play it. So you can see the music playing with the output meter, and I hope you can also hear it. We'll just reduce the sound a little bit. And now in the preview window, you see how the video is going to be look like when we render it. So we have the media files, the transitions, effects. We also have the text overlay here. I hope we still have it. Yes, we have this simple overlay text, and we have the background music. I will just stop it, and if you want to render this project, you just go into project menu and you choose the render as. And as you can see, this video is too long because we have the trial version. We cannot render it now, so let's reduce it down to 2 minutes. We'll just cut this part here and just delete it. And now if we go into project and render as, yeah, we still have it a little bit longer than 2 minutes. So let's reduce it even more. Delete this part. Let's zoom it out, and now we have it less than 2 minutes. And if we save the project and we try to render it, we will have different options here. We can either render it as an audio only, but I think it's not fun. It's better to render it as a video. And we have different selections here. We have the Magix AVSC, or we have the Magix HEVC formats here, and it's going to be the MP4 file. And to render it as the Full HD, you will have to choose the Internet HD 1080p and 25 frames, because we had the 25 frames Full HD video project selected when we created the entire project. So the rendering process takes some time, and it's not really something useful for you. You can do it yourself. I think that's it. This video has gotten too long, and I think you got the idea of how easy it is to start working with the Magix Movie Studio. If you want something easier to use, you can also consider the Filmora 9 to be more specific, or Movavi video editor. I also have the videos for both of these editors on my channel here. But the difference between those editors and the Magix Vegas Movie Studio 16 is that Filmora and Movavi, they have lots of predefined effects for you, and they are template based, so there's not much options you have there. They have very nice effects, really nice effects. But if you want to have something that's more easier to control, and you want to have the fine-tuned settings over your effects, it's better to choose the Movie Studio, because it gives you a lot of settings, and it basically behaves as a professional video editing tool. So if you want to start your video editing career and you want something more robust than the Filmora or Movavi, I suggest you choosing the Movie Studio. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe if you want to see more.